Hey friends, it's finally sunny in Dallas, Texas, and I am so happy about that because it just makes you feel good when the sun's shining. It did rain most of the week and I was able to go outside, shoot some video of some things that are happening in my yard, and I wanted to share that with you. Today, we're talking erosion. Erosion is the wearing away of material by water, wind, or ice. We'll be talking about the effects of water on the land today. So rain chains are a pretty cool way to help with erosion because they take the water from your roof and they create sort of a little rain catcher's garden where the rain can seep in to your landscape and stay in the soil versus running off and creating erosion problems. So I have rain chains on both sides, 4 sides of my house. Another thing you can do is water collection tanks. Notice his 3 tanks are full. He has quite a big house and it's overflowing. And then you see how the water's running off there. What happens in my backyard? I've got an erosion issue. Do you see all the water that's standing? My backyard is on a slope, which means that there's a high end and a low end. And you can see where the low areas are. That's where the water pools. So I took a quick trip to the farm to check out erosion and what's happening there. And that little pipe there is the internal drain that drains the water from the roof. It makes a little pool there that you can see. It pushes this pea gravel down to the sidewalk because remember, water goes to the path of least resistance. So it's gonna go downhill and it travels this way. Now we had this drain installed to capture the water before it pushes and moves soil and mulch, but it's not quite working. You notice the pebbles there. Water keeps pushing. I'm at the other side of the shade structure and you can see where the mulch, all the mulch that we move on work days got all pushed away, coming down the hill. It's very swampy right here. And then it pushes, you can see waves of where the water came along we had like 6 inches of rain this week. And then this is what we call the erosion tree. And this was the main reason we put in that drain system was to try to protect this tree. It's a beautiful live oak tree. And what's happened is as the water pushes material down, it also wears away the material that's holding the tree in place on top of the roots. So this is what it would look like. It's supposed to look like underground. And if you look at the fence line, you can see where it's normal, and then it gets small. That's all the earth materials that's been moved, heading downhill, going down the alley to the drain, and that's what happens with erosion. So here's another example of what erosion does. This garden's on a pretty good slope here, and it's the very end of things, but you can see how the water has pushed away the crushed granite, and then it mounds up, and you can even see the crushed granite on the other side of the fence and on the sidewalk. We're trying to create a barrier here to stop it. It'll only stop it so much. As it gets to the top of that black thing, it's going to go over. So it's going to be an ongoing problem because the slope issue really isn't addressed. Over there, though, you can see a retaining wall, and that's holding it up pretty well. And that's really what probably needs to be done here. This is kind of just a makeshift temporary fix because it's going to be a problem later. And you can see how we are on a slope and everything comes from the top of the garden down through here, wears away the crushed granite and mounds up in the street. Now, y'all may have a wall that's similar to this. Can you see that wall behind the wood? It goes all along. And notice how the left side of the wall is low and the right side of the wall is high. That's called a retaining wall. And lots of people use retaining walls to hold back the push of erosion and the earth, and that kind of controls some of that. A lot of times those retaining walls don't hold up and they have to be replaced or repaired. You may have had that problem in your neighborhood. Here's something you can do. You can go to your yard, sketch it out, label the trees, label things that you notice in your yard, and find points of erosion. Mark it on your map, talk to your parents and make a plan. Maybe you can find a way to stop erosion from happening in your backyard too. Good luck. See you next time.